Good morning, second graders. We have another fun writing lesson for you today, our second day of writing, and we are going to explore a little bit more of our writing journals. So yesterday you guys got to decorate the cover of your journal. I hope it looks really fun, and maybe you can bring them to one of our Zooms and show us. Today we're going to be looking at the Tuesday writing box, and that says, number the first 5 pages of your notebook by placing a page number in the top right corner. So let's do that first. Miss Marquardt is going to help us by showing us that she put the number at the top right hand corner. See where it says number 1 right here. So that's where you're going to number it. And if she turns the page, number 2. She didn't number the back of the first page. She put a number on the next entire page. So the back of the page does not have a number. And then if she flips it again, 3, 4, and then 5. She stopped at the first 5 pages. So thank you for showing us that, Miss Marquardt. The next part after you number your first 5 pages is to use page 1, which we flipped back to page 1, as your list of topics. Try to come up with at least 5 ideas or topics that you would like to write about this year. So we want to talk about some options in case you get writer's block and you're sitting there and you're thinking, I don't know what to write about. I have no ideas. Well, we're going to come up with a few, and then throughout the year or the day or the week or whatever, if you think of something you want to write about, you can always come back to this page and add more than the 5 that you came up with today. So how about we talk about some topics that we would like to write about, and it might inspire the kids to come up with theirs.
I love it. All right.
So let's start with something easy like, I know myself better than anything else and better than anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So writing about myself is pretty easy for me because I know myself really well. So if I wanted to write about like my trip to Yosemite or to Disneyland or to the beach, I could write about a trip I took. And I'm gonna write that down as one of my topics so that I can come back and remember on a day where I don't know what to write. Oh yeah, I took a trip to the beach and I want to write about it. Miss Marquardt, what about you? Do you have a topic that you would like to write about?
Well, I know we've already shared a little bit about our pets, but my dog Jeter, he's the cutest thing in the world, but he also does really funny things.
Oh yeah?
In fact, I might write about this later, but more recently, he's been trying to sit at the kitchen table for dinner, like on the chair, and I just think it's the funniest thing.
So he thinks he's a human, like he's Max's brother?
Yes, he thinks he is just a regular part of the family, and he should have a plate there and a fork and a knife, and he wants what we're eating. So it makes me laugh every time. I'll have to send you a picture. Maybe I could share it on Zoom.
That would be,
one
I
of
bet
these
the
days.
kids would love to see that.
So I might just write my dog Jeter. And there are so many stories that I could write about him that this will remind me any one of them.
And then you could come back to this topic and do multiple stories on different days about different things that Jeter has done.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you could even do make-believe fictional stories with Jeter in them.
I love that, where he pretends he's a big dog.
Yeah.
And he's off leashing.
So not all of the writing in my writing workbook has to be stuff that's really happened to me, right?
No way. It can be fiction. It could even be nonfiction. If you wanted to do some type of research report, you could do that.
Let's do that. Let's do topic 3. I would really like to learn more about the ocean and ocean animals.
Ocean animals.
So if I wanted to spend a day, you know where I could go find out a lot about ocean animals? Epic.
I knew it.
If I go to Epic and I type in like ocean, or I type in dolphins or sharks, I bet I would find so many books that would help me learn about them and like come up with things to write about.
That would be pretty cool. So you could write about a trip you've gone on. You could write about a pet that you have, maybe even a sibling. You could do something, nonfiction about an animal or anything you want to learn more about. I know that some of my students in the past, they enjoy just making a list. Sometimes my head is just not ready to write a story or to do research on the computer, but my brain can think of so many different things that I just want to write down. And maybe, for example, you want to make a list of like your favorite baseball players. So list of some of you sports fanatics out there, you might be able to list a lot of baseball players. I can list like two. Do you know any?
The only baseball players I know are from like when I was a kid. I think Chipper Jones was on the Braves, and I think like Alex Rodriguez was on the Yankees.
The Yankees, yeah.
And Derek
Jeter,
because your dog.
because my dog Derek
Oh,
Jeter is
yeah.
named after the Yankees. Yeah,
I
and-
don't follow baseball a lot, so if I were to make a list, I might make a list of like my favorite TV shows, or my favorite foods,
Yes.
or my favorite animals. A list of all the animals that I think are super cute.
Maybe Pokemon characters.
Pokemon
if you can
characters,
figure out how to
that'd be
spell them.
Yeah.
or sound them out.
Yeah.
Something that you really enjoy and you know a lot
Uh-huh.
about would be a great thing to make a list of. Mrs. Grant and I wouldn't be great at making a list of famous baseball players, but maybe we could find something else that we want to write about instead. Wow, 4 ideas already. They have to come up with 5. Maybe we can help them out with just one more idea.
So I'm going to give you 2 ideas. One is, and you can add either one of these. I know that when we were talking, we talked about things that we'd like to happen in the future or that we're looking forward to. So maybe I'm looking forward to doing something once COVID is over, because Gilroy Gardens has been closed since forever, it feels like, and Mia and I have been wanting to go back there all summer. And I know that she keeps saying when all of this pandemic is over and everything's safe again, we want to go back to Gilroy Gardens and go on the water slides. So that might be something I want to talk about being excited to do in the future.
Something you want to do. I like that.
Or like, what do I want to be when I grow up? That's in the future, right?
I love that.
Like, I want to be a vet or a marine biologist or a professional baseball player or a dancer or a singer. I'm sure you guys have a lot of ideas about things you'd like to be when you grow up.
Dream job. I just got another idea. I don't know how long this video is, but I got another idea.
Tell me.
How about they could write about their favorite book?
Oh yeah, they
Because
could.
we don't always have a chance to
Yeah.
share, but if you have a favorite book or a character you want to write about, I'll just put book or character. You know, it's funny because the more I think about all the ideas that I want to write about, the more it makes me want to go write.
It does, yeah. And any of the things I write about can be true or they can be make-believe, where I make up fictional characters, fake characters who don't really exist. I could talk about talking cats. I could make my characters have speaking parts or dialogue and talk to each other.
Cool.
Or I can tell true stories that have happened. So you have so many options when you're writing, and as long as you're writing, that's what we care about, no matter what kind of writing it is. As long as it's appropriate for school, you're not saying mean things, you're not using inappropriate words, and you're, doing the best you can, that's what we want to see. Yeah? So good luck.